Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're heading out to a Japanese rocky shore, what's known as an isobe. It's this beautiful, dramatic place where the land crashes into the sea. And it's right here that we're going to get to know two incredible birds that call this coastline home. You know, it's so true, isn't it? There's just something about that sound of the waves, the salty wind. It's the perfect backdrop to just slow down and really look. Because when you do, you start to see that this peaceful place is absolutely buzzing with life. And today, we're zeroing in on two of the coast's biggest personalities. They really define the whole vibe of the Japanese seaside. So let's meet our two stars, the umineko and the toby. Okay, first up, we've got a bird that you will see everywhere along the shoreline. This is the umineko, also known as the black-tailed gull. But honestly, it's way more famous for its really cool nickname, the sea cat. So why on earth are they called sea cats? It's a great question, right? And the answer tells you pretty much everything you need to know about what makes this bird so unique. And spoiler alert, it has nothing to do with how they look. Well, here it is. The name umineko literally translates to sea cat. And if you ever get to hear one, you'll get it instantly. Their calls are these really distinct meow-meow sounds that sound, no joke, just like a cat meowing. It's how they're constantly chattering and communicating with each other in their huge, bustling colonies. And I mean, these guys are super social. Their entire life is built around the group. They nest together on cliffs, they find food together, and they're fierce when it comes to raising their kids. If a predator, like our other bird, the toby, even thinks about getting close to the nests, the whole colony just erupts into the sky to mob it and chase it off. It's all about teamwork. And that teamwork extends to their diet, too. They're incredibly adaptable, eating everything from fish and shellfish to seaweed and even our leftovers near the harbors. And just to give you an idea of the scale we're talking about, a single colony can easily top 1,000 birds. Can you just imagine that for a second? The sound, the sight of all of them taking flight at once, it is an absolutely wild spectacle. All right, so from the noisy, crowded shoreline, let's lift our gaze up, way up, into the sky. It's time to meet our second bird, the majestic black kite, known in Japan as the toby. This guy is the undisputed king of the coastal airspace. Yeah, so unlike the chaotic energy of the umineko flock, the toby has this calm, commanding presence. It's a true master of flight. It uses its big, broad wings to catch thermal updrafts. Those are like invisible elevators of warm air, and it just hangs up there almost motionless, surveying everything below without even flapping its wings. And its hunting strategy? Oh, it's a masterclass in being efficient. It's this simple but incredibly effective three-step move. First, it soars and scans. Then, using that famously sharp eyesight, it locks onto a target from way, way up. And finally, the dive. A super fast, precise plunge to snatch its target. It's just beautiful to watch. So what's it looking for up there? Pretty much a bit of everything. The toby is the ultimate opportunist. A huge chunk of its diet is actually carrion, dead animals. And that makes it a super important part of the ecosystem. Basically a natural cleanup crew that keeps things healthy. But yeah, it's also a skilled hunter of small animals and fish. And it's definitely not above stealing a meal from another bird if it sees an easy opportunity. So now we've got our two birds. We have the master of the social crowd down on the shore, and we have the solitary king of the sky. Let's put them side by side and really look at their two very different but equally successful game plans for survival. And this is where it gets really fascinating. The umineko is all about the power of the group. It's social cooperation, sharing info to find food, and defending the colony as a team. The toby, on the other hand, is all about solitary skill, its amazing vision and total mastery of flight. One thrives in a crowd, the other's a lone ranger, soaring high above it all. So what this really shows us is that there's no single right way to make it in the wild. The umineko's greatest strength is its adaptability. It succeeds because of its flexible social structure. The toby's greatest strength is its efficiency, a perfectly evolved solo hunter. They're two completely different answers to the same question. How do you thrive here? And seeing these different strategies play out with your own eyes, well, that's the real joy of birdwatching. So now, let's talk about you. How can you get started on your own journey of observation? You know, the best part about this is that you really don't need any special skills or expensive gear. It's one of the easiest hobbies to get into. All it really takes is a little bit of curiosity and just the decision to start looking. And if you're just starting, here are a few simple tips.
The #1 rule is just be respectful. Stay quiet and keep a good distance so you don't disturb them. Try going out in the early morning or evening. That's when they're usually most active. And remember, don't just look at the bird. Look at its whole environment. It tells you so much of the story.
Because once you start taking that time to really stop and watch, you'll see it. You start noticing these little dramas, these amazing behaviors, and all these connections happening all around us, every single day. It's a world that was always there. You just hadn't tuned into it yet.
So, the next time you're outside, whether you're at the beach, in a park, or even just in your own backyard, just take a second to look around. Look up. You might be completely surprised by the amazing stories that are unfolding right over your head. What hidden worlds are just waiting for you to discover?